Santorini. Just hearing the name brings to mind whitewashed houses, blue domes and those unforgettable Aegean sunsets, right?
I'm Chrisoula, a local travel creator based here in Greece, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly what makes Santorini so magical. I have prepared the perfect list of things to do, from iconic villages and hidden gems to beaches, food and even a volcano.
And make sure to stay until the end, where I will share essential travel tips to help you plan smarter and enjoy more. Let's jump in and explore one of the most beautiful islands in the world. Let's start, of course, with the one and only Ia. It's the village you've probably seen all over Instagram, and for good reason. The narrow paths, the dreamy blue domes, the cliffside terraces overlooking the caldera, it's like a living postcard. Walking through Ia early in the morning is a completely different experience than during sunset hours. So if you want to avoid the crowds and get those stunning shots all to yourself, set the alarm. You can also return in the evening when the lights start to glow and the vibe gets super romantic. Beyond the famous domes and sunset crowd, Ia has a personality that really comes through when you take your time. Wander the narrow alleys, admire the architecture, and soak up the quiet corners that most people rush past. And while the beloved Atlantis Books was once a hidden gem here in Ia, it has now found a new home in Fira, still full of handwritten notes, rare editions, and that same magical atmosphere. Ia also has its own dose of history and culture. You can visit a maritime museum which offers a glimpse into Santorini's seafaring past. And of course, don't miss the Ia Castle, not just for its world-famous sunset views, but also for its historic ruins. Once a Venetian fortress, it stood guard over the caldera and still holds that quiet ancient energy. Climb up in the early morning or stay for golden hour. Either way, it's unforgettable. If you walk down the 300 steps to Amoudi Bay, you will find a charming little fishing port with tavernas right on the water. It's a perfect place for a seafood lunch or dinner. Just imagine eating grilled octopus with your feet practically touching the sea. But Santorini is more than just Ia. Just a short drive away, you will find two of my absolute favorite villages on the island, Pyrgos and Emborio. Pyrgos sits on a hill and feels like a secret sanctuary with winding alleys, old churches and views that stretch all the way to the sea. Emborio, on the other hand, it's like stepping into a fairy tale. Its medieval castelli and maze-like streets are so atmospheric that you half expect to bump into a knight. These villages are quiet, authentic, and give you a true sense of Santorini before the boom of tourism. Speaking of atmosphere, let's talk sunsets. Everyone rushes to Ia for that golden hour glow, and yes, it's spectacular from the castle ruins. But if you are looking for something less crowded and more peaceful, I would suggest heading to Skaros Rock in Imerovigli. It's a short hike, but totally worth it for those dramatic caldera views. Or for something even more off the beaten path, check out the lighthouse in Akrotiri. You will be rewarded with a panoramic horizon and fewer people around. And while we are on the subject of Imerovigli, we can't skip Fira. This is the island's capital and it has a completely different energy, more lively, with a mix of locals, day trippers and travelers from all over the world. You will find everything from trendy cafes and rooftop bars to souvenir shops and elegant boutiques. But Fira isn't just about views and nightlife. It's also home to the island's most important museum. The Museum of Prehistoric Fira showcases impressive finds from the ancient city of Akrotiri, like pottery, frescoes and tools that date back thousands of years. It really helps you connect the dots between the ruins and the story behind them. There are also a few beautiful churches in town, like the Orthodox Metropolitan Cathedral with its graceful arches and bright frescoes. And for something more spontaneous, just follow the caldera path. You will find countless little terraces, art galleries and hidden corners that make wandering around Fira such a pleasure. Now let's change gears a bit and dive into the past, literally. One of the most fascinating spots on the island is the archaeological site of Akrotiri. This ancient Minoan city was buried under volcanic ash thousands of years ago and preserved incredibly well. You can actually walk through its streets, see multi-story buildings, pottery and even frescoes. It's like Greece's version of Pompeii and a must for anyone who loves history. After soaking up the past, it's time to hit the beach. Now, Santorini's beaches aren't the classic white sand kind. They're dramatic, volcanic and seriously photogenic. You've got Vlihada with its moon-like cliffs, Perissa with its fun beach bars and black sand, Kamari which is more organized and family-friendly, and of course, the famous Red Beach with its striking red cliffs. Just a note, the Red Beach can be tricky to access and sometimes closes for safety reasons, so always check before you go. Feeling adventurous? One of the most rewarding things you can do on the island is hike from Fira to Ia. It's a 10-kilometer trail along the caldera edge and honestly, it's like walking through a postcard. The views are incredible the entire way and you will pass through smaller villages like Firostefani and Imerovigli. I would suggest starting in the morning, bringing water and giving yourself plenty of time to enjoy the journey. It's not just a hike, it's an experience. And what's a visit to Santorini without setting sail? Hop on a boat and take a trip to the volcano. Yes, an actual volcano. Nea Kameni is a dark rocky island you see in the middle of the caldera, and you can hike right up to the crater. Most tours also stop at the nearby hot springs where you can swim in warm mineral-rich waters. Whether you go with a group or splurge on a sunset catamaran cruise, seeing the island from the water gives you a whole new perspective. And then there is the wine. Oh yes, Santorini's volcanic soil gives its wines a unique flavor, especially the famous Assyrtiko. You will find wineries scattered around the island, and many offer tastings with unbelievable views. Santo Wines is one of the most popular, but for a more intimate experience, try Argyros Estate. Booking a tour lets you sample different varieties, learn about the island's wine history, and of course, enjoy the views. Last but not least, you have to taste the local food. Santorini has a beautiful culinary identity. Try the tomato fritters. Seriously, they're amazing. Fava, a smooth yellow split pea puree, is another local favorite. And don't skip the Santorini salad, which adds a twist to the Greek classic with island-grown capers and Akrotiri, a local goat cheese. And if you are into seafood, you are in for a treat. From upscale caldera restaurants to cozy village tavernas, the food here is unforgettable. And don't be afraid to venture off the main streets. Some of the best meals I've had were in the most unexpected little spots. Now, before we wrap up, let me share a few useful tips to help you make the most of your time here. If you're wondering how to get to Santorini, you've got two main options. You can fly, there are frequent flights from Athens, and in high season, even direct ones from European cities. It's quick and super convenient. Or you can take a ferry from Piraeus, a scenic but longer journey. Fast ferries can get you there in around 5 hours, while regular ones take closer to 8. Once you are on the island, getting around is relatively easy, but it depends on your style. There are public buses that connect all the main towns and beaches, and they are affordable, but during summer they can get really crowded. Renting a car or ATV gives you a lot more freedom, especially if you want to explore less accessible spots like the lighthouse or hidden beaches. Just be aware that parking in places like Ia is tricky, especially around sunset. Taxis are limited and can be pricey, so don't rely on them as your main mode of transport. Also, bring comfortable shoes. Those charming cobblestone streets can be tough on your feet. And pack sunscreen, a hat and sunglasses. Even in spring and fall, the sun is strong here. If you're visiting in July or August, book everything in advance, from ferries and hotels to car rentals. But if you can swing it, I recommend visiting in May, June or September. The weather is still gorgeous, but the crowds are smaller and prices a bit more reasonable. And one final tip, the tap water isn't drinkable, so always carry bottled water with you. So there you have it, the best things to do in Santorini, from iconic sunsets and ancient ruins to stunning beaches and mouth-watering food. This island really does have it all.
Let me know in the comments below which of these are you most excited to try. Or if you've already been here, what was your favorite Santorini moment? If you like this guide, give it a like and subscribe for more Greece travel content. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.